Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the 2025 UNCLOUD Victorian Country Short Course Championships. After an incredible day of racing yesterday where we saw records tumble and some super close finishes, we're kicking off our third session of the competition this morning with event 48. It's the women's 200-metre butterfly. We have 2 of our timed finals in this event this morning, and in the water is heat 1.
Yeah, so heat 1 today, we've got 2 14-year-olds and 1 15-year-old in the pool. So our younger athletes really taking on this challenge of a 200-metre butterfly. Now, Kalia, we all know you are a butterfly swimmer. You love your 200 fly. How would you go into this race?
Important to know, was a butterfly swimmer, probably not so much anymore, but 200 fly is one of those events that it's quite daunting to most people. You see it on the program, and I think a lot of people are afraid of it. The important part of butterfly in any race that you're swimming is going to be all about that rhythm. You want to find that nice, easy, comfortable rhythm and hold that throughout a 200. It's really important not to overrate in the first 50 and tire yourself out. Because you're having both of your arms out of the water at the same time, it's quite difficult on the shoulders. So we really want to be utilising that rhythm to keep us propelling forward. I suggest these athletes, they start off with that first 50 at easy speed, and then you almost want to build through the rest of the race until that final lap. It's always going to hurt no matter how often you swim it, because the more you swim it, the harder you're going to push those boundaries. But these girls are doing a really fantastic job. You can see the 2 girls from South Gippsland Bass here in Sienna Hunt and Isabel Croato. They found that nice rhythm. They're breathing every 2 strokes. I particularly like this for our junior swimmers as well. It gets them to return to that neutral position where they get their chest back down, their head back under the water, and the ability to get their hips up nice and high.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a lot yesterday about teammates racing each other, and they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, so they'll really be pushing each other in this race here.
Yeah, I think quite often as well, the coach's approach, if they know one of the athletes may not have swum it as many times, it might be, watch your teammate, see how they're doing, and you guys train together, you know the pace you can do, you can hold on, you can stick with her as we come down now into that finish under the flags. And it will be Isabel from lane 5 who takes this one out, the first heat in a 2:38.44, followed by Sienna, 2:40.59, and Chloe finishes off there in third, 2:42.51. So while we get ready for this second heat to start in our women's 200-metre butterfly, I want to just talk a little bit about country short course. Now, Tegan on commentary with me this morning. It's your first ever experience coming from metropolitan Melbourne out of countries. What were the vibes like around pool deck yesterday? Just give our listeners a bit of a concept of how it was here at Gariwanyara at the pool here in Bendigo.
Yeah, I had a great time yesterday. I absolutely love watching the teams, cheer each other on. There are a couple signs at the other end of the pool that I'm looking at now, and it's so good to see the support from all the coaches, but as well as their teammates too. So really good vibes at the pool this weekend.
I think the most commonly phrased term yesterday when people were asked about, how would you describe countries in one word, was the word vibes. And you could really feel that this morning. Teams have come in after a pretty massive day of competition yesterday, and already we've heard those team chants. We've still got the sides of the pool are actually lined with athletes. You can see them on screen now, ready to support their team, because coming into day 2, it is a tough ask to start off with this 200-metre butterfly event, when a lot of these girls will probably have 5 more races to go.
So heat 2 of 2 in the pool, away and swimming. Now, a little bit of a mixed bag here. We've got some 16-year-olds all the way through to our athlete that is 20 years of age.
Yeah, Nicole Briscoe swimming out of lane 5. She's 20 years young. She's one of the leaders of the Geelong Swimming Club and a real kind of icon for these junior swimmers to be looking up to. You see her in pretty much every event. She finished the night off last night swimming in some relays and doing a really great job for the team there. She's always been an incredible performer, and that's kind of what Countries is about. We're looking for those team point scores. I did have a cheeky look at them this morning, and there's some pretty tight placings in that list. So every point today is going to count.
Yeah, absolutely. Now coming underneath the flags now, we have our lane 4 swimmer Ava Candy. We watched her race yesterday. And she's doing this 200 fly like a champion. She's really opting for that breathing every second stroke. So we watched our 100 fly yesterday and they were breathing every stroke. And here we're seeing every 2. So a little bit of a different race plan.
Yeah, I've loved watching Ava's progression over the last few years. She sort of was hovering around medals about 2 years ago, and then over the last 24 months has just really excelled in her swimming. We've seen her pick up some medals at state level as well and do a really great job. She's putting together a nice 200 fly here for day 2. She's going to turn into that final 50 in the lead ahead of Nicole Briscoe with Hannah Buchanan in third. And Hannah's another one of those Ballarat Swimming Club athletes who has really started to shine across this competition. I've seen her drop a lot of time and do some really great personal bests over the weekend.
And Ava here coming under the flags now. She has led us from start to finish, and she will touch that wall in a 2:21.72, closely followed by our lane 5 swimmer with a 2:27.04.
Away we go in the water now. Event 49, the men's 400 metres freestyle. We have combined our heats down to 2, so we will now be swimming 2 of our time finals instead of 3 this morning for our men's 400 metre free. Like our 200 flyer that we just saw, this is an open event, so swimmers of any age that made that qualifying time are able to compete in this race this morning. And we're seeing, once again, a little bit of a range here. So within this heat, we have a 13-year-old all the way through to a 23-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be interesting to see if our more experienced athletes go into this with a little bit of a different race plan to our younger athletes.
We got to see the women's 400 metre freestyle yesterday, and I was actually talking with the winner, Bella Johnson, earlier today about the strategies she used. She obviously dropped a massive personal best, and we were saying how we could really see the difference and the lift in her efforts coming into that third 100. A lot of athletes, they do get a little bit scared. They don't want to push it hard too early and run out of steam towards the end. But if you have been training for these longer races, you have that ability to start lifting and almost do sort of after that first 100, 3 100s where you're trying to descend and get quicker on each one.
Yeah, and obviously our athletes are competing in a short course pool at our country short course championships. So means that they're going to have to lap count as well as race plan, as well as swim, focus on their technique, their underwaters, their turns, their skills. So lots to think about in this race. Their minds will be very busy.
Yeah, we did see a few interesting lap counting techniques yesterday. I think that's why a lot of athletes, they do break this 400 down into 4 100s. It gives them something specific to think about for that entire 4 laps. And once they've completed that, they can tick it off, and it makes the counting just that little bit easier. If you are just trying to count up to 16 or 16 down to 0, it can be a little bit confusing, especially when you're also trying to think about your breathing, making sure it's quick, and your walls, getting off and being efficient on the underwaters, not overexpending energy. All those things start to stack up in your mind. So if you have one clear focus for each of those 100s, it just makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where you're up to.
And you see Zayden, who's leading us now in this 400, got quite a significant lead here.
Yeah, a lot of these boys on entry time were quite close together, so it makes me think, well, Zayden probably going to do a nice drop in personal best here if he's well in front of that pack. He's looking really comfortable and relaxed on his recovery. We like to see that in a 400. He's about to turn now. He's got 100 metres left to swim, so 4 laps to go for Zayden. He's out in the lead. His compatriot from Traralgon Swimming Club, Archer Marsland, down in lane 2. He's going to turn in second, and it will be William Elliott who turns in third, swimming out of that lane 4 position. But still a little bit close between those boys. Anyone can kind of make a little bit of a move, maybe push themselves up into the top 3 here. But Zayden really looks like he's going for this one. As he comes down, he'll turn with 50 metres left to swim. And once again, we are seeing that counting become a little bit of an issue here.
Yeah, so we just watched Zayden really lift that stroke rate, start to incorporate those legs that little bit more in this last 25. And he will maintain that lead.
There we go. He comes down to touch. It's an 8-second personal best for Zayden there, 4:20.34. Archer finishes in second with a 4:26.55. And Kai Maloney ends up in third there, 4:28.99.
So we kick off with heat 2 of 2 now. Our men's 400-metre freestyle. So this is our final heat here, so our fastest seeded heat for this morning. Now again, we've got a few of our younger athletes here, a couple of 15-year-olds in there, so it'll be nice to see the race that they can put together here.
Yeah, it's so good to have these younger athletes competing against a few of our more mature and experienced racers. If we look to the centre of the pool, Cameron Keeney yesterday picked up a couple of records. A really good role model once again from that Geelong Swimming Club team. His teammate Silas Phillips swimming out of lane 5 next to him. And then there's a few younger talented athletes in this field too. If you look to lane 3, Cody said, really great distance swimmer, probably more suited to the 8 and the 1500. So he's coming into this 400 with that endurance background. we're seeing a lot of athletes start to push up who were 200-metre swimmers into the 400 as well. So this 400-metre event, you can see a few different approaches. You've got some athletes who will really attack that first 200, try to get themselves out in the lead, a little bit of that clear water. You've got other athletes who will be super consistent in all of their splits, and it will probably look like they're catching up or making more ground in the second half, but all they're really doing is maintaining their time when other people are fatiguing.
So Cameron Rakini here having a great race. So he is leading us at the moment with quite a significant lead there. We've seen that quite a lot over this weekend.
Yeah, he's looking pretty comfortable. The 200 freestyle yesterday, he went a 150 and he's gone out in about 157. So not pushing it too fast in that first 200, trying to stay more relaxed. And he's choosing to breathe every second stroke. That's fairly common in these 400-metre events. You want to be making sure you get plenty of oxygen. Another thing you'll notice off the walls is these athletes in the 400, they're not going to be using the entire 15 metres underwater. That's a little bit too much hypoxic, so they want to be being efficient on the underwater. A nice glide in a good streamline to start off with. Don't start those dolphin kicks too early and break that glide phase. And just a couple of dolphin kicks to get themselves up to the surface, a little flutter of those freestyles to break through the surface, and then they'll find their rhythm within the swim.
Yeah, absolutely. These boys are really showing us how important that race plan is. You definitely can't go into a 400 the same way that you would go into a 50-metre race or a 100-metre race. So these guys are going to have to showcase their skills, showcase their race plans here to pull together a nice 400.
So Cam now just 75 metres left to swim. The other boys have turned for that final 4 laps. Quite a spread out field we've ended up with here as well. So a little bit of action coming from different lanes. Cam out in the lead, Tom Urquhart in lane 6 having a ripper of a swim. And the battle in this heat for that third place spot is very close between Silas Phillips, Zachary and Marley down here in lane 1.
So Cameron underneath the flags now, and he will touch there in a 3:53.19. So another PB there for Cameron.
Yeah, I've just checked with our officials, and that is another country record for Cameron Rakini. A fantastic time to be able to go sub 4 minutes on day 2 there with that 3:53.19.
Kicking off event 50, the women's 100-metre freestyle multi-class. Now, we do have 2 timed finals here. Now, because we are swimming a multi-class event, we have to remember that they're not necessarily racing each other. So they're racing to achieve the closest time to their world record time for their classification. So it's about point score here, and it's about that world record time.
onto the wall and turning in that first place spot was Adele York from the Bendigo Hawks, but nice and close there between Mackenzie Gibbs and Isabella Slocum as they come down that third 25. There are a couple of these athletes who have the same classification, so obviously we know the person to touch the wall first from those same ones will get the highest point score, and within this heat that is Zoe Cox, Mackenzie Gibbs, Adele York and Amy Bale. Those athletes all racing as S19.
Yeah, so Mackenzie and Adele, they're having very similar entry times here. It looks like it will be Adele in lane 5 that touches with a 1:14.06. So another huge PB for her there.
Yeah, it's been so great to see so many of our athletes completing in these races and performing personal bests. We've seen some incredible drops in time. I mean, the one then from Adele, that's a 6-second PB that she's come out with this morning. And I've also been chatting to a lot of the athletes around on deck across the weekend about we have so many great families within country swimming. So we just watched Amy Bale race in lane 6, and we will be seeing her sister in the next race, Lisa Bale, and those girls were chatting to me yesterday about how this incredible rivalry that they have, and they're sort of swapping who's fastest in this event. And Lisa was so proud that her younger sister had been able to beat her time in a few races, and it was such good camaraderie and great to see from those siblings. The girls hitting the water now in our second time final for the women's 100-metre freestyle for multiclass.
So again, we've got a couple of S19 girls in the pool with us. So they will be racing each other in this 100-metre freestyle.
Yeah, we've got 5 athletes in that S19 classification. We also have 2 athletes in the S14. So Tyra Jensen and Anna Layton will be direct competition to one another. And then out in lane 8, we have Kayla Wilson, who's one of our S10 swimmers. If you are relatively new to multi-class events, we spoke before about how these athletes, we compare it to the world record for their classification. If you're sort of wondering what those numbers represent, that is the level of their classification. So S19, what we basically look at is the lower the number, the higher the impairment. As we come down to touch there, and it will be Ava Dennis who takes out the second of our time finals. Her time there, 1:04.25. And we will wait for those results to come through so we can reshuffle those point scores and find out who our overall winners are.
So kicking off event 51, our men's 100-metre freestyle multi-class. So we do just have the 3 athletes in the pool with us. So Blake in lane 5, Samuel in lane 4, and then Kobe in lane 3 here.
We had some really great support along the sidelines for our multi-class athletes all day yesterday, and today is certainly no exception to that.
So all of these athletes are different classifications, so not racing each other this morning, but definitely trying to beat that world record time. That would be the ultimate goal here.
100 freestyle, one of our sprint events on the program. Short course, 4 laps. We want to see those swimmers go out really, really fast, and that's what Samuel Turner did. He was super explosive down that first 25, and he's really maintained that. His entry time is a 1:23, so he'll come down under the flags. He's going to be pretty close to that entry time, might even sneak a personal best. Almost there in a 1:23.92, a fabulous effort into our 3rd session of the Country Short Course Championships. A little bit of a shout out to Blake Warren in lane 5, just 11 years of age. He's one of our younger multi-class athletes. And a lot of these swimmers, I've spoken to parents this morning, they're looking to score over 150 points to try and get them into our emerging abilities squad within Swimming Victoria. So we're looking to see that next wave of incredible multi-class athletes and really develop them for the future. It's so good to have multiple of these younger swimmers within the race. And another thing that I do love, and we'll get to see coming up in this second heat, is a lot of our multi-class athletes staying in the sport until they're in their 30s, which there's not a lot of sports across the board, but you know, you can have athletes still performing at an elite level well into their 30s, which a few of these boys we got to interview yesterday. They will be going and participating at the Virtus Games coming up in 2 weeks in Thailand. And one of them, Ryan, 33 years of age, and the other one, Bradley, 31. So great to see them still so heavily involved in their swimming and performing at that elite level.
Our second and final heat, the men's 100-metre freestyle multi-class. So we've got a couple of our boys that are S14 classification. So we have 4 of them in here with us this morning. So they will be racing against each other. We do have quite the age range here, though, with just 12 years of age all the way through to 33. So like Carlia was saying before, it's really nice to see our athletes, our junior athletes, performing really well as our senior athletes.
Yeah, now one of those S14 athletes swimming out of the centre of the pool, putting on a great show for us this morning, is Lockie Ballion. He will be joining Ryan and Bradley at the Virtus Games. I got to chat to him a little bit about it during our Victorian Tri Series, where he represented Victoria against New Zealand and Western Australia, and boy did he put on a show there too. I love watching Lockie race, such a great athlete, and he's really run away with this 100 freestyle there. That's a great swim for him. Eli Kerr in lane 5. He's just 14 years of age. He had a really impressive Australian age nationals earlier this year, coming away with a stack of medals. He is a great worker and always does really, really well. And it was a great swim from all the boys in the pool during that 100-metre freestyle there.
Event 52, our girls 11 and under 50-metre breaststroke in the water with us. So we do have 6-time finals in this event. So this is heat 1 of our 6. Well, it really is anyone's race going into this last 25. So it will be about our underwaters. Now, it's quite a tight race here for this first heat, but it does look like it will be our lane 5 swimmer, Micah, that takes out our first heat there with a 48.79. So another big PB there for Micah.
Good morning, everyone. This is heat 2 of 6 of this girls 11 years 50 breast. I'm Sam Purvis. Looking like the outside lanes are doing well this morning. Lane 8 from Warrnambool, we have Harriet Kennedy. It's very, very close. Touching first could have been Ballarat Gold Ariana Edwards there in lane 3. She's pulling ahead, but also lane 2, Layla Proctor from the Warragul Swimming Club, looking very good. Yeah, she's stretching out on that glide, but coming back at it. This is going to be very close finish. Yeah, and first, Ariana Edwards, Ballarat Gold. Well done, Ariana.
And in the water, away and racing is heat 3 of 6 here. And that start was pretty even across all of our girls then. Now you'll see some of our girls have opted for that lower breaststroke stroke versus some of our girls that have opted for that higher breaststroke stroke. So sitting nice and high in the water. It's a close battle here between our lane 5 and lane 4 girls, but our outside lanes are pulling it together for this last 10 metres. But it looks like it will be Lily that touches in a 46.88.
Heat 4. In lane 3 here we have 9-year-old Madeline Lawson from the Bendigo Hawks. So she has 2 more years in this age group, so this is a good start for her career. Lane 5 taking it out, Ruby Sue Lawson from also Bendigo Hawks touches first, but it's very close next to her. Lane 4, Isabella Williams from the Warrigal Swimming Club. Isabella just looking like she's pulling away with a bit of a longer glide, but coming back at her is Ruby Sue. I think just going to take it now, yes. Isabella Williams, Warrigal Swimming Club, 45.87. So now into the 45s from the 47s. Well done, girls.
Heat 5 of 6 just started in the water with us. So remember, there are 6 heats of this event. So we are near the end of this event here. So getting faster with our entry times here. And what a great underwater for our girls in second and third there. Really pushed up, closing that gap from that first place spot. Now our swimmer in lane 5 will touch first, opting for that lower breaststroke stroke there. And she will touch in a 41.69. So another PB for our girls there.
So we've got heat 6 of 6, the fastest heat, these time finals, and we have Sophie Lee, local girl, Kangaroo Flat. Seen a lot of her this weekend, and she is the fastest seed for this final heat with a 37.59. Great start from all of the girls there, doing a great split stroke. Complex stroke, breaststroke. Having to hold that glide and keep your timing. But yeah, Sophie Lee is really taking this out. Fantastic turn, executed, and another great split stroke there. So she's heading her way back. Georgie Kennett bringing up. She's only 10 years old from Ballarat Gold, so she's got another year in this age group, but Sophie Lee touches first in a 37.04 and a 38.53 for Georgie Kennett in second place. Third would be Nellie Gray from the Geelong Swimming Club, 10 years old. Well done, girls. That is a new country record there for Sophie Lee. 37.0 taken down from a 37.7. Well done, young lady.
Event 53, the boys 11 and under 50 metre breaststroke. So we've just watched our girls heat 1 of 5 of our boys in the pool with us now. So 5 timed finals here. So these boys sitting around the same entry time. So it should, on paper, be a close race here. It does look like it's playing out that way at the moment. It's really stroke for stroke down this last 25 here. And coming underneath the flags now, it will be lane 5. Russell that touches him first with a 48.06. So another PB for our first heat there.
Heat 2 of 5. All of these heats are circular seeded, which means that the fastest swimmers are in the yellow lanes, lanes 4 and 5, usually. But anything can happen with these youngsters. In lane 6, we have Oliver Roberts. And in 3, Xander Schwarek from Traralgon seems to have turned first. Pulling away, his teammate is trying to gain on him. Lachlan Hind from also the Traralgon Swimming Club, but stretching out. Lachlan Hind. Oh, sorry, Xander Schwarek gets that first place in a 47. That's a 2-second PB for most of those boys.
Heat 3 of 5 underway now. Now we've got a lot of teammates in this race. So we've got lane 1 and lane 2 here from our Bendigo East Swimming Club. And then we've got lane 5 and lane 6 from our Traralgon Swimming Club. And lane 7 and lane 8 from our Ballarat Swimming Club. So lots of head-to-head battles here between teammates. It is pretty even across all of these swimmers coming in to this last 10 metres. And it looks like it will be our Traralgon boy touching in first with a 46.02, closely followed by a 46.66.
Here we are, heat 4 of 5. As we can see, we're sponsored by UNCLOUD, so that is the anti-vaping campaign to help educate young people about the harmful effects of vaping. Very close now as we get into these final heats. Lanes 4, Zain Zegloui from the Ballarat Gold Swimming Club. Looks like it's between 4 and 5. We have Patterson Norman there from the Wodonga Swimming Club, and Zain Zegloui, but first in a 43 seconds. That's a 3-second PB for some of these boys. Well done.
Our 5th and final heat away in swimming. So these are our fastest seated boys in the water with us now. You can hear the crowd going crazy for these boys. It is their opportunity to take that podium spot and get one of our nice medals for our country short course champs. Looks like it will be our lane 4 swimmer, Lucas Wenter, who will touch in first with a 37.86. Moving on to event 55, our boys 16 and 1700 metre butterfly here. So we have 3 timed finals in this event.
Yeah, it's very close at the moment. That first 25, the girls will be trying to relax, count their strokes. Butterfly's all about keeping the same rhythm and timing from the first 25 to the last, because you'll never go any faster than up that first 25 doing a good stroke technique.
Yeah, so we've spoken a little bit about different race plans. So we did watch our 200 fly girls this morning, and these girls have gone in with a little bit of a different technique, breathing every stroke. So our girls this morning breathing every second, sometimes every third, and these girls opting to breathe that every stroke, hopefully getting in that oxygen so that they're able to sprint these 4 laps in this short course pool. So coming underneath the flags now. And our lane 6 swimmer will touch in first.
Yeah, Aurora Audsley from the Geelong Swimming Club on her PB there.
Heat 2 of 3 away in swimming.
Really nice breakout from Rani Matheson there. Nice high hips. Got to get your chest and head down. All right, so it's best to not be able to see much of your swimming cap, and get your hips up high to get that stretch out in the water at the front, like an elastic band for your muscles, and twang back with that power.
There's a pretty close race here between some of our girls, so it'll be interesting to see who can pull it together for this last 25. Now, 100 butterfly is really exhausting, so these girls are going to have to give it everything they've got for this last 25.
That's right, it is quite the battle now. I think Rani might just be paying for that first 25, first 50, but she doesn't hang on. She gets second in a 109.26, and Laura Landers from the Traralgon Swimming Club takes that out, and that's a 2-second PB for those girls, so well done. Final heat here. We've got Ava Candy in lane 4. She went to National Age Championships for this event and did very well. So butterfly is one of her favoured events.
Yeah, we've seen Ava Candy back up race after race after race at this competition. So she's having an absolutely stacked program, but she always comes back with the results. So I don't doubt that this time will be no different for her.
Yeah, Isla Ho, very good turn there. And also the same for Zoe Schneider from the Ballarat Gold Swimming Club.
It is a battle between these 3 girls turning into this last 25. Ava Candy just having the better of turns there, but not such a good underwater. The girls did catch her, so it will be stroke for stroke under the flags now. But she has pulled it together, and Ava Candy will touch in lane 4 with a 102.80.
102.80, that is a country record. Fantastic 102 here at this time of the morning. Well done, Ava. Can we have the boys 16-1700 fly, event 55, first heat.
There are 4 timed finals in this event.
Neck and neck up this first 50. Looks like it's going to be the Bendigo Hawk swimmer, Finnegan Jackson. He is in the lower of the age group. He's 16 years of age. But a lot lower to the surface of the water is the Warrnambool swimmer, Alexander Bell. Made a good turn, Alexander, there, but they're coming back at him. This is a race. A really good race. Chase Briggs also, Ballarat Gold Swimming Club not giving up. This is going to be who stretches for the finish. Yes. Finnegan Jackson just takes that out in a 1:12. Oh, sorry, 1:08.14. Came up differently. Heat 2 of 4 here. Billy Fish had a really great start off the blocks, and his compatriot Hugh Munro as well, both from the South Gippsland Bass Swimming Club.
They're pretty even across these boys coming down to finish their first 50 here. It will be our lane at 4 swimmer Billy that touches with a 29.49, so sub that 30-second mark. So looking good here for a 100-metre butterfly.
Yeah, and these boys will be looking out at what the girls did. So, trying to get down to that sort of time. Ava candidate of a 1:02 would be great. Their entry times are a 1:05.63, and he looks very strong down this last 25.
He's picked up that stroke rate, and he will touch in first, Billy, there with a 1:02.29.
Nice.
Fantastic time. Closely followed by Hugh with a 1:05.31. Heat 3 of 4. So we're approaching the end of this event here. So these boys are getting a little bit faster with those entry times. So we're looking at some 1:02s here in the middle of the pool as their entry times.
Yeah, on those turns, got to try and get under that wash. You can see how much wash these boys are creating. So when you turn and do your underwater work, it's got to be underneath that drag zone and the wash that's coming back at you, and he's doing that really well. Zachary Sharaf from the South Gippsland Bass Swimming Club.
Yeah, the other thing that you'll see is our swimmers really trying to finish on that full stroke, so touching the wall with 2 hands. You don't want to finish on a half stroke there, so timing that finish into the wall is going to be really important for these athletes and could be the difference between a win and a loss here.
I like Jeff Connor getting out there. He's from Gisborne Thunder. Nobody told him he had lane 1. Well done.
So Zach from lane 4 just touched in a 1:01.64. Our 4th and final heat swimming now So these boys are looking at that minute mark in the middle of the pool as their entry time. So sub a minute would be the ideal goal. So PBs all round.
Zayden Burton looking very good after he's done that 400 freestyle and a 420 to back it up with this 100 fly.
Pretty even going in today's second 50. Will be Zayden that touches in first there, so he will lead us into this third 25.
This is so close. It's going to be this turn and underwater work. Yeah, good on lane 5. He didn't breathe on his first stroke, Luke Gallagher from Ballarat. But Zayden's coming back with that endurance. But we do have the swimmer in lane 7 from Traralgon, Kevin Wang. Oh, sorry, no. Roddy Cargill took that out from the Cargill clan. 59.22, Zayden Burton 59.70. So those two boys getting under that elusive 60-second barrier. Event 56, girls 18 and over 50 fly. We have 3 swimmers in this. Looks like lane 5. Hannah Simmons is going to take this out. She's from the South Gippsland Bath Swimming Club. But up with her in lane 3, Claudia Lanyon from the Ballarat Gold Swimming Club. Claudia just looks like she's stretching out. She takes that in a 33.49. That's a 4-second PB.
These 50 freestyle, 50 butterfly events, I should say, 50-metre races. It's all about those bookends, so the starts and the finishes, timing onto the wall can be everything. Away and racing very nicely here out in lane 8 is Michaela Bond from the Warrnambool Swimming Club. She's going to lead us through at the 25-metre mark. It was a good turn by Kira Stevens on this side of the pool, the swimmer from Bendigo East. She had a ripper day yesterday, taking a few heat wins. It's going to be close onto the wall between those two. Michaela Bond will get the win there, 32.88 ahead of Kira, 33.33.
Heat 3 of 4. Really great undulation there by lane 4. Lucy Beaton from the Kilmore Swimming Club. And also doesn't take a breath off that turn. Very important in this 50 to set yourself up for that second 25. But lane 5 might just take it. Lara Smythe, South Gippy Bass, she does in a 32.20.
In the water now, it's heat 4, the last of our timed finals. Girls 18 and over, 50 metres butterfly. And immediately we're looking to the centre of the pool there. Very quick start in lane 3 by Talani Bibi of Bendigo East. She'll lead us through at the halfway mark ahead of Nicole Briscoe. And it was Olivia Bailey onto the wall in third. Really long underwater there from Olivia. She's pushed her way up almost alongside Nicole, but it is still Talani out in the lead. She is going to take away this one, 29.11. Great time there ahead of Nicole, 29.60. Olivia finishing in third in a 30.25.
Okay, we have event 57. Heat 1 of 3. Power event for these men, this 50 fly. A lot of times you see no breaths, only at the turn in some of the international competitions, but Bendigo Hawks there. 26-year-old Bryce Schubert, looks like he's going to take this out really well. Spots that finish excellently. 28-24. Second, Matt in a 29-1-4. Matt Whitehouse.
Away and racing now for Heat 2 of the boys 18 and over, 50-metre butterfly. Pretty even down this first 25. Looks to be lane 4, Dylan Muir, who's just out in front. But it was a great turn by Mostyn Lumsden in lane 5 to pull his way out into the lead down this second 25. And he looks like he's going to maintain it with that timing onto the finish there. Mostyn 26.46 ahead of Dylan. And it was Dane Snyder who finished in third.
Nothing like beating your coach there, Mostyn Lumsden. He's got the bragging rights there over Dylan. Sorry, Dylan.
Our third and final of the men's 18 and over 50 metres butterfly, and looks like we're going to have a great race on our hands. Lane 4, Ashley Nichols, he's taken it away strong. He's broken 2 of these 50-metre records yesterday. We'll see what he can do here. It's a solid underwater from himself and Darcy Connell in lane 5, the Traralgon boys, but it will be Ash Nichols onto the wall in first, 25.01.
Event 58, we have the girls 12-13, 100 IM. We have 6 heats. This is heat 1 of 6.
100 IM, probably one of a lot of athletes' favourite races. We only get the opportunity to swim it over this short course season. It's a bit of that fun event. It's exciting. It's full speed from the get-go, and that's exactly what Alvie Evans-Barr has done over in lane 8. From the Wangaratta Stingray, she's gone out very, very fast in that first 50. We'll look to see whether any of these breaststrokers can close the gap. Turning in second was our swimmer Ella Featherston in lane 2 from the Ballarat Gold Club.
Looking good though up in lane 8 there. Evie Evans-Barr from the Wangaratta Stingrays.
Yeah, Alvy's held on through those first 75. Has she got enough left in the tank down this final lap? The girls in the middle of the pool starting to push through now. Ella closing as well. Alvy Evans-Barr still out in the lead, and she will get this one from Heat 1, 118.80 ahead of Ella.
Here we are, Heat 2. Fastest qualifier in this heat would be Zuzin Hu from the Geelong Swimming Club. But turning first up there in lane 7, Daisy Greening from the Warrnambool Swimming Club. Great fly leg there. And she also looks very good on backstroke. Keeping a beautifully still head position.
Really smooth backstroke. We are seeing Yuxin just start to push her way up in the field here. That lead now about half a second to come into the breaststroke. It was a really good turn from Matilda De Fazio in lane 3 from Benalla. She almost popped up alongside Yuxin, and the girls now having to push through in this breaststroke lap.
Yeah, you've got to say though, holding on from Warrnambool, Daisy Greening. She's only got the freestyle to go. It's only 25 metres. Great underwater, got to say. She can see them all. She's breathing to her right, so she knows that she's ahead.
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage down that last 25 if you can look to the rest of the field.
Oh, lane 1, though. Neve Harrison, Ballarat Swimming Club, a storm down that. 118.11, that's a huge PB for her.
Heat 3 hitting the water now. We've got 6 of the time finals in this event. The girls 12-13 years 100 metre IM this morning. It will be Miley Bird leading us through at the 25 metre mark. As we've seen in our previous heats though, that lead can change within the space of 10-15 metres depending on where these girls' strengths lie. As we come down to the halfway mark though, Miley's still looking really good here. She's got almost a body length on the other girls in this heat. Turning in second will be Madison Prout from Traralgon Swimming Club. She's swimming out of that lane 3 space, so middle of the pool. Keep an eye on those guys as they start to close that gap that Miley set early on here. Looks like she was just in front into that final lap. Brooklyn Packer, though, had a really fantastic breaststroke leg. She's sitting in second. Miley putting that motor on, I should say, down the last lap. Miley Bird takes out that one in a 116.34.
Time final 4 out of 6. Yeah, it tends to be a real sprint. 4:25s really in this 100 IM, and the turns really do make all the difference.
Yeah, that 5 metres in from the flags until that point at 5 metres out on every single turn is going to be the most important stage in this 100 IM. You want to have speed coming into the wall and create that momentum to hold it off the turn. If you're seeing athletes slow down into the wall and someone speed up, that person next to them is going to have a real advantage as they come off with more propulsion.
Yeah, Paul seems to be giving the girls good training on that back to breast turn. They've both done well from the Warrigal Swimming Club, Leila Van Aswagen and Indy Joyner.
Yeah, Indy got out to a nice little lead early on and she's extended it through that breaststroke. She's going to be trying to hold off some fast approaching swimmers in Claire Baker in lane 3 and her teammate in lane 4. But looks like she's done enough there. It will be Indy who takes out heat 4, 1:14.41, ahead of Claire, 1:15.15.
All right, Millicent is the fastest qualifier in this heat from the Traralgon Swimming Club. But taking it out there in lane 8, Lacey McRae from the South Gibson Bass.
Yeah, Sophia Graham also looking really good down the second half of that first 25 of butterfly in lane 3. She looks like she had a nice little lead coming off the wall, but moving her way through is our swimmer in lane 6, Chloe Rawson from Traralgon. And it will be those two who go around in first and second.
Yeah, both girls in 5 and 6 looking like they've got a very good precise breaststroke. But lane 3, Sophia Graham really coming through from Wodonga City, a visitor. No, not a visitor, in Victoria.
Yeah, Wodonga on the good side of the river, the Victorian side, of course. She's having a great swim here, Sophia Graham, as she comes down under the flags. Did the work in that breaststroke. She's held on beautifully. She'll take out this heat in a 1:13.83. Maggie Fisher there coming back well in the freestyle to claim second. And we'll put our eyes onto this 6th and final heat, see what the girls can do here.
Astrid Buchanan is quite a way ahead on the entry times. She's come a long way. I think had a really good national championships. Fantastic underwater work. I know backstroke is one of her best events, so she is pulling away.
So as we come into that 50-metre turn, it will be Astrid ahead of Emily Croato in lane 5 and Kira Delaney in lane 3. The centre of the pool seem to be the ones to watch here. Can anyone make up that deficit during this breaststroke? It doesn't look like it. The girls in the golden lanes going head-to-head down this third 25. And it will be Emily who turns in first. Ripper breaststroke from her. We'll see if Astrid can catch up with 15 metres left to swim for our leaders.
Emily Corrado taking that in a 1:09.26, so took a PB by 2 seconds to win that. Well done.
Into event 59 now. It's the boys' turn in the 12, 13-year-old 100-meter individual medley. And with our boys this morning, we have 7 of our timed finals. So plenty of these athletes qualifying into this event today.
Yeah, the 2 sail swimmers look like they have taken it out. Nice head back position there from lane 6. Noah Garlick. Not choosing to do a split stroke. Sometimes it's faster for some people to not do one, but usually when you get more practice, it does pay to do that split stroke. Overwater recovery there from lane 7. Taj Loughran from the Warrnambool Swimming Club. But it is very close now. Turning onto the freestyle.
Yeah, still really anyone's race here. Flynn Cox had a nice breaststroke there. Looked like he got off the wall the best of the entire heat. The swimmer from Yarrawonga Mulwala, and he's going to come down under the flags and take out heat 1. The time there, 1:21.02, will be Sam Detbarn, who finishes in second from Sale, and Noah Garlick into third.
Clean start from these boys in heat 2. Nice high stroke rate there from lane 4. Phoenix Aldersley from the Geelong Swimming Club. But up in lane 8, very good fly. Ethan McCracken from the Shepparton Swimming Club.
Yeah, him and Raymond really had some nice underwaters into that backstroke as well, and they're going to take us through in first and second here onto that turn, into the breaststroke. You will notice quite a few different strategies being used, and we've spoken about this yesterday as well, that backstroke to breaststroke turn. There's pretty much about 3 different options that the swimmers can utilise. A lot of the more experienced athletes choosing now to go with that crossover turn. We also have our bucket turn, which sort of looks like that backflip. It sounds like a fun one to do for our younger athletes. And then, of course, you've just got your touch turn, which is pretty much exactly what it says it is. You touch the wall and turn onto your front.
That's right. You have to be pretty brave to do the crossover turn, but if you've practiced a lot in training and you always do it, then you know you wouldn't go on your front really. But under pressure, you just don't know how people react, so it can be a bit of a tricky one to choose. But my advice to kids at home would be give it a go as much as you can.
As we just saw Ethan McCracken there have a cracking swim. He's taken out the second heat here in a time of a 1:19.14, and that's a 6-second personal best.
So heat 3 of the 7. Arlo McHugh there from the Geelong Swimming Club just takes that out. We've got a few outside smokers this morning, which is pretty good. They've had a big program, all these swimmers, over 2 days. A lot of them compete in many events, so it's nice to see that they're giving it a go on this Sunday morning.
Certainly some speed out in lane 8 as Arlo turns in first down to this third 25. But the breaststroke boys starting to push their way up. It is Jason Huang in lane 4 showing why he is in that middle lane, and also having a ripper of a breaststroke here. Down in lane 2 is Samuel from Wodonga City.
Yeah, Sam looks like he's going to take this out. He can look back and see his competitors behind him. It's a pretty good feeling. You got that adrenaline pump and you think, yeah, a win's a win. Well done, lane 2 to Samuel, 1:17.26. That's a huge personal best, 6 seconds nearly.
Into the water now. It's heat 4 of the boys, 12-13 years, 100-meter individual medley. That is 4:25s of speedy sprinting in butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, followed by freestyle, and taking it away very well there in lane 3 was Zachary Gray of the Sails Swimming Club. He's popped up off that turn, just holding a lead over lane 7, Daniel Hyatt from Warrnambool.
Yeah, that's right. We've got the outside lanes again. We've got lane 1 here, Jordan Galaccio from the South Gibson Bass Swimming Club. Got a lane, you got a chance. It's a little bit of a, it can be daunting, that back to breast turn, no matter which one you choose. And Bowden Brown there.
So it'll be Daniel that comes into the freestyle in first, ahead of Jasper in lane 4 and Zachary in at lane 3.
Yeah, nice feeling to be so far ahead on the freestyle. Daniel Hyatt there from the Warrnambool Swimming Club, 1:15.09, 6-second personal best for him.
Away we go here, and it's heat 5's time to shine. Great start in lane 5. Harry Curl of the Traralgon Swimming Club. Beautiful butterfly. He is leading this one out very nicely. Ahead of Patrick Clark in lane 2 from Geelong, and then it's pretty close at the moment for that 3rd place spot.
We've seen some massive drops in those PBs. A few swimmers in earlier heats getting times that could potentially put them in that last heat. So that final heat, the fastest seeded heat. So we have to keep an eye out on these last few heats today.
Absolutely, these are timed finals. So if you post the fastest time, it doesn't matter if you're in heat 1 or heat 4. You are the winner of this event. And Harry Curl, we're going to keep an eye on the time here because he is body lengths ahead of the rest of the boys in the field. His entry time sits at a 1:17. We're looking at those 1:07s and 1:08s to be our winners today, and he's not going to be far over that time. I think it's going to be a sub 1:10 swim, almost there. Harry, 7-second personal best, 1:10.47 to take out heat 5. Onto the wall in second. It will be Jack Hocking And then third, over on that far side of the pool, Logan Gibson in lane 7.
Heat 6 of 7 in the water and racing now. It's pretty even across this first 25 for this butterfly.
It will be Billy Main who touches in first, just in front of lane 5, Oliver Anderson from the Bendigo Hawks. But it was a really nice underwater there from Billy. He's trying to get as much lead into this breaststroke as he possibly can.
Billy's had some exceptional swims this weekend, and it looks like this swim will be no different.
We do know a few of these boys are quite good breaststrokers. They'll be trying to close that gap. Billy's going to be hoping that he's made enough ground or enough of a move early on to hold them off. And what we tend to see as we go into our freestyle is that lead should almost double. So if you have that little bit of an advantage, you can see it's just extended down this freestyle lap.
Yeah, we often talk about in our breaststroke it being our make or break leg of our IM. And it looks like Billy has put together an exceptional 100-metre IM here, and he will touch him first with a 108.25.
Yes, a very competitive time as we look to our 7th and final heat this morning of the 12-13 years 100-metre individual medley. Let's see what the boys have got up their sleeve here and what times we can have today.
Our 7th and final heat, away and racing. Our middle lanes doing an exceptional job of that first leg of our 100-metre IM.
Yeah, onto that butterfly turn, there was almost 4 swimmers identically touching the wall. It looked like Cooper Scott maybe just had the advantage, but Archie Smith in lane 4, he's such a brilliant backstroker. He's already started to pull away from the rest of the pack. Let's see what they can do now with 50 metres left to swim. Archie in the lead.
Yeah, our leaders there really showing how important that crossover turn is, how quick our transitions need to be from one leg to another.
Really nice breaststroke leg here from the Warrigal swimmer, Joseph McKinney. He has tried to pull his way up alongside Archie, shift himself into that second medal position, and the battle for third on the far side of the pool looks like it's raging on as we come down to touch here. Archie will take this one out in a 104.51. Cooper Scott finishes in second, 106.15, just ahead of Joseph there, 106.21.
Event 60, our women's 400-metre IM. So these girls are going to have to swim 4 laps in our short course pool of every stroke. So they've got their butterfly, their backstroke, their breaststroke, and their freestyle. So counting laps is going to be absolutely essential here, as well as those turns. Remembering what turn is what, lots to remember here.
Yeah, it's quite a different and a big switch as we go from the 100-metre individual medley into a 400 IM. That 100, there's really no holding back. It's 425s, absolute sprint. You want to nail every single touch and every single turn. there is that little bit more leeway as we come into the 400. We're not going to be giving 100% effort onto every single lap. We want to restrain ourselves just a little bit and hold back a little so that we have that energy coming down to the final 100 in particular. When that freestyle hits, it's such a good feeling because you know there's only 100 meters to go, but it can also be so fatiguing previously if you take it out too hard.
Absolutely, and doing it nicely here is Isla, and she touches in a 108.25 for that butterfly. Her transition from that butterfly to backstroke was really nice too.
Yeah, coming into the backstroke, I know a lot of coaches that I've spoken with and an approach that I look for my athletes to utilize as well is we want to maintain that reasonably high stroke rate and put a lot more pressure on the upper body in this leg of the IM. You want to be able to rest those feet just a little bit and give your legs a small break. We use them more as a balancing tool. So you want your toes up at the surface, little flutters of kick, but nothing too intense because when we hit the breaststroke, it is such a leg dominant sort of leg of this IM.
Now these swimmers will be playing to their strengths and weaknesses here. So Isla had a great butterfly leg and an even better backstroke leg here. So we'll see if these girls can really pull it together with their breaststroke.
Yeah, Isla comes into this race at a 5:37. There's a couple of other girls' entry times who are sitting similarly. We'll look to see whether day two has kind of taken a little bit of a toll or whether Isla is about to do a nice drop and big personal best. She comes into that change from backstroke into breaststroke, opting for that bucket turn. She's got that ability to take a nice big breath before she backflips over. Al's gone the same, and we've just seen it was Katie Macklin. She's done that crossover turn. So that seems to be the one that a lot more of our professional level athletes are choosing.
Isla really showcasing her underwater skills here in that breaststroke split stroke there.
Breaststroke, you do almost want to be able to utilize that underwater because it's going to save those legs a fair amount. When you push off in the breaststroke, you are allowed to do one dolphin kick, and you can get quite a distance off just that dolphin kick. Then you use your arms. It's called a split stroke because it's basically your arms and your legs, they're just split into two parts. So we're not doing those continuous rotations of stroke, which means we're saving those legs a little bit more if we can use that underwater. We just check in. Haven't seen a lot of changes in this breaststroke, which is good to see. Everyone just holding their position nicely as we come down. Isla is still our leader. She's got quite a substantial distance on the other girls in this field as she turns for home in the freestyle. 4 laps left for her. It's Al Cofield in lane 3 who's still sitting in second, and we're just starting to see Miller Said close the gap on Katie in lane 5 and 6.
Yeah, Miller there being just 13 years of age, so our youngest athlete in this event.
Isla now turning just after those other girls have started their freestyle. So she's going to be using that probably as a little bit of motivation to see if she can actually catch up to anyone and be gaining and closing in on them with them still having that last 50-meter turn left.
Isla starting to incorporate those legs a little bit more in this last 25. She comes under the flags now, and she will touch in first here with a significant lead. She touches there with a 5:13.78, so a massive drop on her entry time.
Al Cofield still sitting in second ahead of Miller, and those two look like they're going to finish on the wall in second and third. Miller's had a great second half to this 400 IM, moving her way through the field nicely. Al there with the time of 5:39.73, Miller 5:41.61, and then Katie 5:45.41. That will wrap up heat 1 of 2 in our time finals for the women's 400 metre individual medley.
Our heat 2 of 2, so our last timed final for this event in the pool and swimming. Now, we did just watch Isla have an incredible swim in that last heat with a 5:13.78, so that would have placed her in this heat 2. So these girls are really going to have to work overtime here. Hopefully we'll see a few personal bests in here as well.
Yeah, some great performers within this heat. Arabella Johnson swimming out of lane 4, 5:11 entry time. We saw her knock off almost 8 seconds in her 400 freestyle to take that one out yesterday. You will see she's one of those athletes that almost creeps up on the rest of the field. So a lot of these girls going out a fair bit faster in this butterfly leg. Arabella's just going to be trying to sit back and move her way through. She's a fantastic breaststroker, so we know that those breaststroke queens have that ability to make up a lot of ground in those 4 laps.
It's quite the battle here between lane 6 and lane 7. Zoe and Hannah sitting in our first and second spot, but like we said, we've got a long way to go in this 400 IM, so it really is anyone's race still.
Just starting to see Maya Roberts push her way up into this field as well during the backstroke, along with Summer Morgan. Summer, one of our open water, so she does a lot of surf swimming athletes, so she'll be strong down the second half as well, particularly the freestyle. I saw some great racing with Maya and Arabella yesterday. They had a fantastic swim in the 100 metre individual medley. It was really, really close and an exciting race, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether we can have another exciting swim here. It is still Hannah Buchanan, though, in lane 6, and what a weekend that she's had also. She's looking really good in this backstroke. The girls are going to have some work to do as we come into the breaststroke.
And it is Hannah that touches in first with a 1:29.63. So just sub that 2:30 there. Be interesting to see if she can hold this lead in this breaststroke.
I'm really enjoying the fact that she's maintaining a nice glide in the breaststroke. We don't want to see these athletes tighten up and shorten their stroke too much. It tends to be a big sign that they've fatigued a little bit too early. So we want to keep the length, keep that drive forward, that constant acceleration and propulsion towards the wall.
Having an excellent breaststroke leg here, though, is Morgan Summer in lane 3.
Yeah, some are doing a really nice job trying to hold off some of these really solid breaststrokers here. Arabella Johnson, not really surprising to see Bella starting to push her way through. She sort of sat back in that 4th spot, 5th spot early on, and she's already caught up to Summer. And as they turned there, she looked like she went in just behind Hannah, but she's come out in front. So this is pretty much the race we expected to see this morning.
Absolutely, and it really shows here how that breaststroke leg is a make or break for our swimmers. So we've had a change in leader here. We'll see if these girls can keep that lead for this last 100 for the freestyle.
75 metres to go. Bella Johnson still out in the lead. Summer Morgan sitting in second. And then it's Hannah and Maya. The gap between those two is closing pretty quickly, with Maya trying to make a little bit of a move here. You have to wonder if maybe Hannah might have just taken that butterfly out a little bit too hard and is really feeling it down this final 50 metres to go. So we've got 10 metres left to our leader, Bella, here. She comes down now. She is going to take out the second 400 of the competition in a 5:10.53. A nice little personal best for her. Summer Morgan, 5:12.69. And if I'm correct, that means Isla Ho in her 5:13.78. She's actually going to finish with that bronze medal in this event. So as we've said across the weekend, if you've got a lane, you've got a chance. Doesn't matter where you are. She had a beautiful swim out of Heat 1.
We kick off event 61. The girls 11 and under, 50 metre freestyle. So heat 1 of 5 in the pool. So 5 timed finals in this event. So all of these girls being 11 years of age. We've got Layla sitting there really comfortably in the lead from Warragul Swimming Club, and she will touch in first with a 34.07, a massive drop in that entry time.
Heat 2 into the pool now, and those golden lanes look to have the best of starts on the underwaters. Once again, we're seeing some great swims from Warragul swimmers out of these early heats. We watch Abel lead us around, and a nice turn there. She's almost come out a body length ahead. She is charging down this second 25. It is all Abel McPherson from Warragul. Keep an eye on this time. Huge personal best there, 32.72. Finishing in second will be Summer Davis of Warrnambool, just 10 years of age there. And it was May Rankin from Warragul who finished off in third.
Heat 3 in the pool with us for their 50 metre freestyle. Now we do have 2 qualifiers here that are sitting at that 34 for their entry times. And Mary, they're just being 9 years of age, so one of our younger athletes in this event. Looks like our swimmer in lane 6, Florence, will touch in first with a 32.20. So another huge drop in that entry time, and definitely one to look out for in those later heats.
Off we go with heat 4 of our 5-time finals, 11 and under 50 metres freestyle. Boy, do we have some treats coming up for you guys. Some incredibly fast swims by this age group across the weekend, including quite a few of these records that have been stolen away by some standout swimmers. Going through in first at the 25 metre there was Darby Hunter from Wangaratta. She's trying to hold off pretty much the entire rest of the field, who are in a bit of a blanket for the finish here, but she will get there in first. It will be Darby, 32.82, ahead of Imogen Wilkins from Geelong, who was almost dragged along by Darby there with that great personal best by 2 seconds.
Heat 5 of 5. So our final heat for the girls 11 and under 50 metre freestyle. Now a few of our girls sitting here with our 30 entry times. So we're looking for that sub 30 there with a personal best. It looks like coming underneath the flags here. It's quite the battle between these three girls, but it looks like our lane 3 swimmer, Sophie Lee, will touch in first there with a 29.99. So our only sub 30 time. She will take the gold medal.
Event 62 underway here. It's the boys 11 and under 50 metre freestyle. We have 8 heats of our timed finals this morning. We've got some more speedy swims coming up as we turn at that 25 metre mark out of heat 1. It will be Jude in lane 3, who's absolutely put the afterburners on, and he is streaking down this second 25. The other boys pretty close together. It looks like it might be Sam Hall over in lane 6, sitting in second. He's trying to fight off Jason Fernando. So come into that touch. It will be Jude in lane 3, 34.33. Jude Harrison from Ballarat, who takes out the first heat.
Heat 2 of 8 in the pool now. Away and racing, and our youngest qualifier here is our lane 2 swimmer Ethan, who is only just 8 years old. Looks like our Traralgon boys have had a fantastic start to their 50 metre freestyle. Coming underneath the flags now. It does look like lane 3, Balin, will touch first in a 35.64.
Heat 3 taking off here, and it was lane 7, Joshua Rodder, who got away nicely off the blocks. It looks like lane 3 starting to push his way through. Austin Lynch of South Gippsland Bass, one of our 10-year-olds in this event. Nice to see these boys a little bit under that age group having an absolute crack here. So come down this second 25. It's still that little battle between 7 and 3. Looks like Josh might be the one who's going to get onto the wall first. Great second 25. It will be Josh Rodder, 34.71 to take out heat 3.
We kick off heat 4 of the boys 50-metre freestyle. Still with our younger athletes, Alexander in the middle there in lane 5, just 9 years of age from Kangaroo Flat. It's like our outside lanes are having a fantastic start to that 50-metre freestyle. Underneath the flags now. Lane 5 has really pushed up to close that gap, but will it be enough? And it will. He will touch in first. Ruben there with a 34.49.
Plenty of nerves around the venue with our 11 and unders, a lot of them competing at these country championships for their first time. So that little bit longer hold on the start, I think there might have been a few shakes, but we got underway and it will be our swimmer in lane 6, Lucas Fitz, who turns in first. Lucas Fitzgerald, that is from Warrnambool Swimming Club, goes around ahead of Samuel Timms. But Samuel Timms from the Geelong Sharks, he's the one to beat down the second 25. Really pulled away on that underwater. Great swim in lane 1 as well by Jack Baker. He'll touch in second. The winning time there, 33.89.
Approaching the end of our event 62, the boys 11 and under 50-metre freestyle here with heat 6 in the pool. Now still a couple of our younger athletes in here, just 10 years old. Everyone sitting there really close with those entry times. But it looks like our swimmer from Warrnambool, Lucas, will touch in first with a 32.97.
We're up to heat 7 of 8 of our time finals, and it's such a tough sport. We do have that one start rule, so if before the start of the race you move and you're about to leave early, that is an unfortunate disqualification there. But the boys underway here, and turning in first over in lane 2 was Angus from the Traralgon Swimming Club. He's got a nice little lead as we come down under the flags ahead of lane 5. His comrade, Xander Swarek, and onto the touch. It will be those two, the Traralgon boys, 32.41 for Angus to take out the win here of heat 7, which will bring us to our 8th and final heat of the boys 11 and unders.
Our 8th and final heat. So these are our fastest qualifiers in the pool right now for their 50-metre freestyle. So looking to see some fast swims here. Our middle 2 lanes out nice and quick with those fast turns there as well. Showcasing those skills. And coming underneath the flags now, lane 4 and 5 have been battling it from the start. Looks like it will be our swimmer from Warragul, Luca, that touches in first with a 29.49, closely followed by Henry with a 29.79. We kick off event 63 here, our men's 200-metre butterfly. And we do have 2 timed finals in this heat. A mixed bag of ages here, being an open event. So we've got a 14-year-old in lane 4, Archer, swimming for us now. Lane 3 off to a flying start there. Marley from Ballarat Gold Swimming Club. Now Archer and our lane 5 swimmer have got close entry times here. So on paper, it's looking to be a close race. Marley still holding on in that lead position with a 1:03.84. So opting to breathe every stroke here. So a little bit different from our girls earlier this morning. Now it was our lane 5 swimmer then who had the quicker of turns and the better of the underwaters and has put him out in first. Will touch in first, so we've had a change of leaders here, but it is still a battle. Leading us into our last 25 here. It is our swimmer from Mildura Swimming Club. He does touch in first there with a 2:16.90, taking out that first heat.
Okay, heat 2 here for this men's 200 fly. They've had a big session, some of these, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Zayden race a few times this morning, so backing up those races. Now this is our second and final heat. So our fastest seeded heat of the men's 200-metre butterfly. So this is an open age group event, so we've got swimmers from 15 years old all the way through to 18 years old.
Yeah, some of these guys have done the 50 fly this morning, so 4 times that distance. Mostyn Lumsden in lane 6.
Now Brodie Cargill here having the fastest qualifying time for this event. Well, we've seen lots of PBs over this morning.
Yeah, Zayden doing a 4:20 in that 400 freestyle, so he's at halfway. He has the aerobic capacity for this 200 fly. After doing the 400 free, it's just whether it's taken it out of him.
Now it is our outside lane swimmer that did touch in first there, so it is quite a battle between our lane 1 here.
Yeah, Tom Urquhart, his coach at Ballarat, you know, incorporates a lot of fly into his sessions, so he will have that aerobic capacity.
And Brodie's still leading us into this last 50 with a 1:39 there. But our outside lane, lane 1, is still chasing him. Our Tarragin teammates here going head to head. As we go into this last 25, you can hear the crowd. And it looks like it will be Brodie in lane 4 that takes out this final heat and wins that gold medal with a 2:13.15. Closely followed by Zayden with a 2:17.11. We kick off event 64, the girls 14 and 1500 metre freestyle. So we've got 6 timed finals in this event. Now it's pretty even across this first 25.
A complete sprint short course, the 100 freestyle. It's you've got to get out there with it. So he who dares wins, really, on this.
In a short course pool, you've obviously got double the amount of turns, double the amount of those underwater. So these girls are going to have to work really hard here to save that energy for this last 25.
Got opposing clubs, lane 3 and 4, Bendigo Hawks, Bendigo East. So bragging rights there for them.
Now outside lane 1 here, though, really pushing up and closing that gap will be our lane 3 swimmer there, Charlotte from Bendigo Hawks, that touches in first.
Here we go, heat 2 of 6. We're looking at 107s being their personal best times on entry, so trying to get under that 105 would be great for these girls. So they're going to have to get out really close to that 30-second mark at 50. Lane 2 looking good, taken out at the moment. Zoe Benson from the Warrnambool Swimming Club, 14 years of age.
Yeah, Zoe definitely was quicker off that wall there. And showcasing those underwater skills as well.
Yeah, that was a great turn. You can see how she pushes off down and then body dolphins up to get through that drag zone. Well done.
Now, it really is a race between these 3 girls here. But our swimmer from Warrnambool, Zoe, she does have an excellent underwater. It really is helping her in this race, especially in that short course pool. But our lane 3 swimmer has just had an excellent last 25 there. She will touch in first. Bryn touching with a 105.91.
Here we go, we're halfway through heat 3 of the 6. 106 across the board on these entry times. We've got a visitor, Evelyn Selby, lane 4, North Albury Swimming Club, just across the border in New South Wales. But really taking this out, lane 2, Nia Chapman from, Ingrid Brettig from Wangaratta. Excellent turn. She's really gone for this. She took it out in a 30.3. See if we can bring that home with only about a 4-second drop off. We'll get her into the 105s. Good. She's hanging on. That's a great leg kick from her. But lane 8, Alice Walsh from the Surf Coast Swimming Club. She can't see past, so trying to beat Ingrid Brettig. Just might get there. Yes, she does. She's first in a 104.09, and then Bondi in a 105.9. Bondi Condon from the Geelong Swimming Club getting second. We're really whipping through these heats. Again, another good start from lane 7, Pippa Barr from the Warrnambool Swimming Club, and also lane 4, Charlotte Morland. She's also from Warragul. It's a great first 50 from the Warrigal swimmer. Really getting those feet onto the wall quickly. So trying to push ahead on this third 25. It's really important to get to that final turn first. Give yourself a bit of confidence down this last 25. She's doing a great job. Charlotte Morland. Paul Myers doing a great job with her there at the Warrigal Swimming Club. Charlotte touches in a 103.42. Very nice.
Heat 5 away and racing. So this is our second last heat of our girls this morning.
Yeah, taking it out there. Well done to Rebecca Barclay from the South Gippsland Bath Swimming Club. Summer Morgan next to her. She does a lot of surf life saving and some distance events too, so she should have the endurance to come back in this 100 freestyle.
Yeah, we saw Summer race earlier.
South Gippy Bass girls crowding her out there in that lane 3 as well. We have Isabel Coato, seen a lot of her, 14 years, so she is in the younger part of the age group.
Just come under the flags
wow.
now. It is a battle between these three girls, and it looks like it will be lane 5 that touches in first with a 102.10, but there is nothing separating them between Summer and Isabella. Our 6th and final heat, so our fastest seeded heat in the pool with us now.
Yeah, it's here from Sutton there in lane 4, represented Victoria. She's the only person that is under the minute here with a 59.8 as her entry time. Training with Henry Allen under John Jordan, who is currently at the World Junior Championships in Romania with the Australian team. So great coaching here in Bendigo.
These Bendigo swimmers, a fantastic race for them. Really pushing each other here.
It's going to be a great time for Azia here. Wow, I think that's a 58.17. And also Zara goes under the minute. Well done. Okay, event 65, got the boys' turn, 14-1500 freestyle. Seeing quite a bit of Flynn Cormack here in lane 4. He's decided to take this out. But also in lane 6, we have Tavern Luck from Kangaroo Flat, the local lad. You can see each other, but breathe into the right, Cormac Flynn. Looks like he's going to take this out. It's going to be a great PB. We're on 50 seconds now. And he's got a 1:02 entry time. 56, 57. Look at that. 58.18. Seen some cracking swimming, aren't we, this morning? Heat 2, Alexander Graham in lane 4, Wodonga City. He's got a 59.74 entry time. The only person to have previously gone under the minute. But lane 3 and lane 1, Isaac Holloway from Wodonga Amateur.
Yeah, so we're seeing this sub a minute early on in this event. So we've got 4 heats and we're already hitting that 59 mark in this heat 2.
It's honestly a blanket across, and both end lanes, at both ends, they're really charging forward. I think lane 2 had the better of the turns. Cooper Beckman there from the Traralgon Swimming Club. But also in lane 6, Ben Hynam from Geelong Sharks. He takes it out. 58.29, 2-second PB. If you've got a lane, you've got a chance.
Heat 3 of 4 in the water now. A great start there from our lane 6 swimmer. He will turn in first.
Yeah, Xavier Gray looking very good from the Sales Swimming Club. Very high on the water, great leg kick. 26.77, he's really going for this. Got a 58-second PB. So I think he's going to smash that.
And Sebastian from Bendigo East having a fantastic turn there before.
Yeah, I think he did have the better of the turns there, Sebastian. But hanging on.
It is Xavier that touches him first with a 56.52. But Sebastian closely following with a 57.11.
Last heat, we've got some great entry times here. 52.62 from Harrison, Maine.
Yeah, so Harrison has had a fantastic weekend so far. Breaking a few of those records.
Yeah, just choosing to breathe out of those turns. Got to remember there's a lot of wash there. Got to set yourself up. So trying not to breathe on that first stroke up, but he is choosing to do that rather taking in the oxygen. Here we go though, it's going to be a battle down this last 50. Jacob Ritchie's not giving up. In fact, really digging in. What a great race. Harrison takes it 52.7 and a 52.88 from Jacob.
We kick off event 63, the girls 18 and over 100 metre IM. And there are 3 timed finals in this heat. So just the 4 girls racing in the pool at the moment. Riley, Charlotte and Kira being 18 years of age, and then Lucy with a little bit more experience there, 19 years of age. As we could see there, the transition between the backstroke and the breaststroke. Some of our girls opting for a few different turns there. Now this breaststroke has been make or break at this competition so far. It looks like our swimmer out in lane 6, Kira from Bendigo East Swimming Club. Takes out that breaststroke leg, but it will be Charlotte that chases her down from Gisborne Thunder Swimming Club. But Kira will hold on to that lead and touch in a 1:16.06, taking out that first heat.
Here we go, heat 2 of these 3 heats of the 100 IM. Great first 25 from Rosie Britton from the Wodonga City Swimming Club. Rosie got a 1:14 entry time. Beautiful backstroke, smooth and head so still. Choosing that bucket turn. Lovely surge forward on that. Zoe Deacon, originally from the Wodonga Swimming Club, great breaststroker, came out of there. One of our international swimmers. Down on this final 25. Fantastic leg kick. Got second up in lane 6. Lara Smythe, South Gibby Bass. Really coming through on that 25 freestyle, but it is going to be Rosie Britton from Wodonga.
Our third and final heat, away and racing. Our mixed age range here, we've got 18 all the way through to 22 years of age. Our fastest qualifier being a 1:05.89 from Geelong Swimming Club, Nicole. Now our lane 6 swimmer here, Talani, 21 years old. It is her birthday today, so happy birthday to Talani. What a fantastic day for her being at the pool. Where else would you be on your birthday? Now, fantastic breaststroke leg there from our middle lane. She does strengthen that lead in this freestyle leg here. As we come underneath the flags, it will be our lane for swimmer Nicole that touches in first with a 106.47. Closely followed by our birthday girl with a 109.
Event 67, the boys 18 and over 100 IM. 3 swimmers in this. Lane 3, Bryce Schubert from the Bendigo Hawks, Andreas Guinness from the Bendigo East Swimming Club, and Joshua Stahl in lane 5 from the Ballarat Gold Swimming Club. Quite a fast stroke rate in lane 4 from Andreas Guinness. All choosing the bucket turn. Yeah, this is how you really have to stretch out on this breaststroke. Looks like he's just finding his pace in lane 4. Andreas, but also Joshua Stahl from Ballarat Gold. Really digging in down this last few metres, but Andreas coming back. It's now under the flag. See who can get there. Yes, he does. He hangs on. 107.38.
Heat 2 of 3 in the water and racing. Now our fastest qualifier in this heat is a 101.70. So looking for our PB there that might just put him under that minute mark. Lay 4 there, Darcy touching in first with a 27.13. So a fantastic split for that first 50. As we can see, some of our boys here are really strong breaststrokers, so it is really make or break there for Darcy. Can he hold on to this lead? It looks like he will, coming underneath the flags now. Darcy will touch in first with a 1:41, so just over that sub-minute mark.
Final heat of this 100 IM for 18 and overs. Ashley Nichols in lane 4, great all-rounder. Quite the record breaker he has been from age 11 years. Had a little bit of a hiccup when he was 14, you know, morning training for young boys, but he decided that he liked to win more than he liked to stay in bed, and this is how it's paid off for him. A fantastic future for this young man. We also have Dylan Muir, one of the coaches in lane 7. He's 34 from the South Gippsland Bass Swimming Club. World Masters on in Singapore at the moment. He probably aspires to that. Ash Nichols, 56.03, his exact entry time. That is a new Victorian record by a second from Cameron Rakini. So well done to Ash Nichols, a new Victorian record for his collection.
Away we go now. It's event 68 in the water. We are nearing the end of our morning session today. The girls 16, 17 years, 100-metre backstroke, and we've got 4 timed finals in this event this morning. Kicking us off, just the 2 athletes out of Heat 1, swimming in lanes 4 and 5. Isabella Campbell of the Gisborne Thunder and Zoe Patterson of South Gippsland Bass. I do like these little head-to-heads. When we only see 2 swimmers, it feels like a swim-off kind of environment, and we always know we get a lot of good swims out of our athletes when the pressure is on them for a one-on-one.
That's right. They're just concentrating on themselves and then each other, so it's good no matter who you've got in there. You know, if there's just 2 of you, you've still got somebody to race. You're not out on your own. The trouble with backstroke is when you are behind, you just can't see that other person. And the advantage is if you are ahead, you can kind of see them and think, right, if I don't mess up totally, I should be able to keep ahead for this final bit.
And keeping ahead is exactly what our swimmer in lane 4 has done this race. Isabella Campbell coming down under the flags now. She's going to take out this first heat. Nice little drop in time for her, 1:17.92 ahead of Zoe. Her time on the board there, 1:21.17 from the girls in heat 1. Just fixing up those backstroke ledges so our second heat will be raring and ready to go, making sure that start is nice and fair and even across the board for every athlete in the race. It's pretty awesome at a country championships to actually have this level of a facility where we have those blocks with the kickers, we have our backstroke ledges, we've got our touchpad and timing system, and all systems are go, ready for heat 2.
Great start from these girls in heat 2 across the board. Coming up last but in front, lane 4, Sophie Gilbert from the Geelong Shark Swimming Club. That was a great start from her.
Sophie Gilbert, great butterflyer, so we know she can utilise those dolphin kicks on the underwater really nicely, and she's showcasing that here in this 100-metre backstroke.
Yeah, she certainly is. You can see a nice clean entry on her hand position on that backstroke. Very smooth. She does have a great underwater work with that butterfly background.
Caitlin Greed in lane 6 is sitting in second at the moment, and she's putting a lot of work in down this third 25. She's really increased that stroke rate, trying to close the gap on Sophie that she set at the 50-metre turn. Not so much separating them now as we come into that final 25, but once again, Soph really using the dolphin kick to propel her way out in front.
Yeah, that final turn on the backstroke there, your stomach muscles are absolutely hurting. To get the crunch over can be really hard, but she's hung on there, Sophie. 1:15.30. That's just a PB. Well done. It was well worth it.
Underwater now with the girls in heat 3 of 4, our time finals. Girls 16, 17 years, 100-metre backstroke. And what a fantastic underwater it was from Isla Ho in lane 7. She did an incredible 400 IM earlier today to take a medal from the first heat of 2. And she's getting away well here in the first 50.
Yes, she certainly is. She's streaking ahead there. Lane 6. Claire Matheson. We won't be able to see her. She can see everyone else. Lane 7, Zoe Schneider. Yep, looking great.
So it is Isla Ho still out in the lead. Al Cofield turned in second, but the girls in 5 and 6 have closed that gap between Ali and Isabel there. And it's going to be a little race down this final 25. The gap is certainly closing for second, but it will be all Isla Ho here. The time 107.85. Very competitive time there as we move towards our final heat.
Yeah, that's a great time. Pulling 4 seconds off. Great start from these girls in heat 4, last heat here of the penultimate event of this morning's session. Lane 3 taking it out. Sarah Proverly from the Geelong Swimming Club.
Sarah definitely has that early speed and a nice underwater, but also doing well here as we come down this second 50. Rani Matheson really worked that underwater on the turn. She's going to be sitting in third with Claire Baker on the other side of the pool in lane 6, moving her way into second behind Sarah.
Yeah, looking excellent, these girls that are taking it out very close. It's going to be who's got the best legs. It really takes out of your legs, backstroke. So, yeah, bringing those legs in. I think it looks like Sarah probably has this, but you just don't know. No, I don't know. Here we go. Wow. Claire Matheson takes that. 104.36. Nice PB for both girls. 104.50 for Sarah Proverly.
So some fantastic swims there from the girls, particularly some fast times from outside lanes as we move along in our program. It is our last event of this morning's session before we head to lunch. This is event 69, the boys 16, 17 years, 100 metre backstroke, and we have 4 timed finals in this event.
Very close up that first 25. Bit hard on lane 3. Hamish Knight, Bendigo Hawks with no one next to him. He won't be able to see anything.
Yeah, that lane out by yourself certainly has its advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, if you don't have anyone next to you, you don't have any wake, so you have clearer water. It can be an advantage, but you can't see anyone else. It is quite difficult if you're trying to challenge anyone. You really have to swim your own race, and he is doing a really good job of that, Hamish. He's had a great third 25 here to move his way out into that lead quite substantially ahead of the boys over in 5 and 6.
Yeah, he could have taken a peek on that turn, and that's about it. So I think it spurred him on. I think he was taking a bit of a look. Good lad. 106.70. It's PB. Great starts there, getting right over the water, these boys with the backstroke ledge.
Coming into the first turn here, and it's the Golden Lanes in the centre of the pool who are away best of the field. That's a really nice underwater there by Marley Sutherland in lane 4. He went in behind Jack Stonehouse, and that's about to happen again on this turn. We'll see if he can make up that ground like previously on the underwater.
Yeah, Jack's just managing to stave him off at the moment. Jack's stroke rate has slowed. But yeah, getting over and getting up. You can say that again, that he's got a great turn, Marley Sutherland.
Yeah, and he's really charging down this final lap. He's come up right alongside Jack as they come under the flags. It's all about timing that finish, and it looks like it will go to Marley Sutherland. 103.17. He'll take out the second heat ahead of Jack Stonehouse. It's the third of 4 heats this morning in the backstroke for 16, 17-year-old boys, 100-metre splash and dash, and there's quite a bit of that going on down this first 25.
Yeah, first turning onto their front was Nick Tukanui there from the Albury Amateur Swimming Club. We've had Nick down at Caulfield training just before national age.
But at that 50-metre wall, it will be out in lane 8, Luke Gallagher, who gets his feet over first, 29.50, so sub that 30-second mark. And he's really using this third 25 to extend that lead on the other boys. Nicholas still holding on. His feet will go around in second, and sitting in that third place spot in lane 6 is Zane Poxon of Moe.
Yeah, Luke Gallagher's really motoring on in this far side lane.
It was a big reach onto the finish there from Luke, but he does take out that third heat, 102.25 ahead of Nicholas.
Beautiful start there from the lads in this last heat of 4. We have a 59.26 from Tom Erkin here. Maybe thinking it's his last swim before the break. We might get a PB, hopefully.
Really nice underwater. I appreciated that he got quite a bit of depth there. Some athletes, they are a little bit too shallow in that zone where we're going to have a lot of resistance.
That's right, he seems to be getting under that zone and just charging ahead down this third 25. So he looks like he's really going for it. We've got Zayden Burton there in lane 5. He has a 59.82 PB and he is coming back on this last 25. Just showing his endurance ability.
Into the touch though, it will be Tom there. The time 58.97. And a big celebration from him. That is a huge swim here in the 16, 17 years, 100-metre backstroke to finish off our morning session. Incredible performances all round. 3 of 4 sessions done for our 2025 UNCLOUD Victorian Country Short Course Championships. There is 1 to go, the final quarter, and we look forward to welcoming you all back onto our live stream thanks to Big Voice Media at 1 o'clock this afternoon.